Oh, come now, days bring calm and cheer. Our spirits by thine advent clear. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to
Okay, audio looks like it's working. I think we are good to go. So, welcome everybody back to another episode of this. First episode did actually really, really well. Like, I was surprised how well it did, so we're gonna give it another shot here. So, but seriously though, thank you guys for the support on the last episode of Resistance Radio. I do really appreciate it. It means a lot that the show did that well the first time we did it. But anyway, so to explain how this is gonna work today, in case either you weren't here for you did really well and you were worried about. I am always worried about every stream not going well, but anyway, so in case anyone here is new or doesn't understand how this is gonna work, the way this podcast works is it's with the main topic. It's designed kind of like a impromptu video essay-esque live stream. I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, this is unscripted. The only thing I really have written down are just some basic talking points just to basically bounce off of so I can keep the discussion going. But if you can't tell from the title, we're gonna be talking about something super fucking controversial today. Oh god, people are gonna hate me for this one because I feel like I'm gonna bring up something people actually like. Just as a preface to what we're gonna be talking about is, if I use the example of something you personally enjoy, don't take it as me shitting on it or trying to change your opinion on anything. The topic at hand is just my opinion on the matters, and you know, like last time, once the main topic's done, I'll open up the floor for anyone who wants to join onto the show to voice their opinion on what we're talking about today. But that topic is, why do we settle for mediocrity? Which, oh my god, I've been trying to do this one. I remember, okay, so this topic came up actually during the pilot episode. Actually, it was the one that almost tied twice for the first episode topic. But the early access one ultimately won out, which I'm a little bit thankful for, because then I had a little bit more time to prepare for this one. Because this one has been one I have been dreading to talk about, just because there are some examples I'm gonna bring up that are honestly probably gonna make some people mad at me. But like I said, this is just my opinion. This is not something that you need to take to heart. If you like what I'm gonna talk about, then that is fine. That is, you're entitled to your own opinion just as I am to mine. So just take what I say with a grain of salt, but also keep an open mind and just at least consider what I'm talking about. Just like how this is basically just an open discussion. So what we're talking about here, just take it with a grain of salt. You can like what you like. I'm gonna say what I feel, and then we're just gonna go over there. I don't need a flame war. Oh my god, but I've been dreading this topic just because of that, of how controversial it can become. Oh god. Anyway, so before we get in the main topic, let's get the first, well, I guess the second part of the title out of the way. Just answer some questions and talk about some future projects. The reason why I'm talking about these, let me turn my music down just a my hair. That should be a little better. Anyway, just talking about the future projects and answering questions real quick before we get into the main topic here. One question I got, I want to say it was a week ago. It was right after the show. And I got asked if I was planning on doing a Christmas special for a YouTube video. And the follow-up was, am I going to do it to the same caliber? Anyway, if it was to the same caliber to the Halloween video. And yes, there is going to be a Christmas video. I'm either going to release it a few days before Christmas or on Christmas Eve. I'm not exactly sure yet. It depends on when I get it done. It's not going to be anywhere near the... Okay. It's not going to be anywhere near the caliber that the Halloween special was, because it's not going to be an animatic video, just because of the fact that Halloween is something I like to have fun with and mess around with, but Christmas, first off, that's my favorite fucking holiday, like, straight up. It's one of my favorite holiday ever. Behind Thanksgiving, because holy shit, having an excuse to just eat until you potentially could have diabetes is the best holiday, but anyway. But yeah, no, seriously, Christmas is probably my favorite holiday for what it represents and all that. And for Christmas, I want to do a video more serious, and I didn't want to do like an animatic or anything because, one, I didn't have any ideas how to convey a serious, yes, exactly. But I couldn't think of a video special that would deal with either animation or an animatic that I could feasibly do to really get the point across as to what this video is supposed to be. And so the special isn't going to be like one of these, super amped up fun videos. It's going to be more I guess somewhat serious. To describe it, it's more from the heart kind of video. So keep an eye out for that. It's either going to be out, let's see, let me take a look at it's most likely going to be out Christmas week, so anywhere between the 21st and the 24th is when I'm thinking about turning it loose. So I'm not gonna give a concrete date, but it's somewhere in that week. But yeah, so yes, there is gonna be a Christmas video. No, it's not gonna be like the Halloween one. It's going to be its own beast altogether, and it's gonna be more of a kind of down-to-earth serious video, which, fucking Christ, a serious video for me. Also, Chris, that's not how that works. But yeah, so to answer that question, yes, there is going to be an actual serious video for Christmas. So yeah, just to address that, I'm not going to give too much away. Just know that it's a movie that actually comes from the heart. It's a bit more serious. Not bad serious. I gotta stress that. Whenever I say something serious, it only means it's bad. It's not bad. It's actually really good. But so yeah, to answer that, but with that out of the way, another question I got was actually the fact that I mentioned it in the last podcast was, when will I ever address that series I did mention, which is going to the future project thing? I'm gonna be honest, that series answered the question of when it's gonna be coming. Not for a while. Just straight up. Okay, so this is gonna go kind of into a problem as well, that some issues that I personally have been having with in terms of the series and the character that I have. So first with the series. I actually have to, because I got through what I thought was going to be the last draft of the script, or at least about halfway through. And then my head just clicked onto an idea, and it was like, you know that meme of where like the what was the video? It was that video where it was like making fun of Sega, where the dude's like high on crack, he like takes a big old whiff and just goes, "What the fuck is this on it?" Like it was that's what my brain did. So it was like 2 in the morning when I was writing, and my brain just clicked. It was like, no, you do this now. And Tyramie was like, all right, we're doing this, and proceeds to stay up until 4 a.m. working. But yeah, so it kind of changed direction. So there's I gotta write a whole another script and do all that. And that's just a script, by the way. I have no idea how I'm gonna actually pull this off. But yeah, so to answer the question, it's not gonna be for a while. Just for the fact of I at least need to get that done. Then I got to do game more script. Yeah, so I gotta get down with that. I gotta finish fleshing everything out. I need to get at least one artist to help with character design and concepts and all that shit, because I can't draw. So I need assistance, so I need to look for someone for that. But yeah, so it's not going to be for a while. Most likely, the most I'm going to release, at least within the next 2 months or so, is maybe some promo stuff. Like if I can find someone to help with character design, maybe unveil some of the concepts for that. But right now, in terms of an actual full-fledged thing, it's not going to be for a while, because I'm very anal and I don't want to at least show off of, like, I don't even want to do a casting call yet until I'm happy with the direction of the script and making sure it's done and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's where that's going. So most likely in the next few months is gonna be some promo stuff. Other than that, I'm trying to keep it on the back burner, which also leads into a follow-up question I got, which was why. So if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I am new to the whole VTuber thing. I only do it like part-time when I don't feel like doing face cam. So most games other than horror or the 12-hour maybe, whenever I do another one of those. But yeah, so someone actually asked, because I've been running around doing some self-promotion stuff for myself, or trying to mingle with other people in this community, just to kind of, see where I sit with all this, like trying to, like find a place in this community so as we get my name out there and all that stuff. Someone actually asked why I don't post very much about the character that I have, the persona that honestly, that goes back to the fact of this series I'm working on. A lot of that character is spoiler territory, and it's stuff I don't want to discuss yet, which is why whenever like on Twitter, when there's posts about like, oh, drop your image and like some stuff about your character, blah 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 blah, or like on the VR chat streams, and like people ask about it like in the chat or whatever, whenever the chat's active. Most of the time it's dead, but yeah, it's just because of the fact that I don't want to go into spoiler territory this early, because everything is subject to change. Rex is a character, the character design and the different abilities and all the stuff, that's all subject to change over time, and it has changed since then, and that's why, because I haven't revealed the shit that's changed. The stuff that's here is concrete. Like, hell, I've gone through 4 design changes, for God's sake. But yeah, that just to address that, it's because I don't want to spoil too much of it, and most likely I'll be using him first for the promotional stuff, just that way, one, you guys can get to know that character a bit more, like what that character's about, like the stuff with it. But mostly right now, to avoid spoilers until I finalize everything, have at least this version of the script done and have things finalized, then I'll start posting more and more about, you know, the character, the world it's in, some other stuff, like maybe some of the other characters, that sort of thing. But that's why I haven't been very upfront about the characters, just because of the fact that, you know, spoilers. Oh god. But yeah, so that's really all I want to talk about that character without going too deep into it. I think all the questions that I got, the stuff that's concrete, is it looks like you isn't. Okay, the in the closet one, fuck you. Oh god, people are gonna take that so far out of context. Oh man, no. But yeah. So, one more thing I want to address. So actually, Fumble, you were the one that actually asked this last stream. So about the thank you, Chris, for reminding me. About that series that you asked about last stream, where I need the artist for the title card. That is actually in production right now. Thank you, by the way. So it's actually in production right now. I am currently thinking about what I want to cover with that first episode. It's either going to be a scripted video on just talking about in just that just stuff in general, or due to things coming in the near foreseeable future, I might do a live stream of a build, like, you know, just another one of these talk show type deals as I'm building the aircraft. I might do the first episode on stream just to see how people like it. Nice condom. I got a condom ad on my stream? Bruh. Yeah, okay, so addressing that, I had to move that. I'll talk to you about that later. Not the first one. Wow, real okay. I bet Trojan sponsor me. Like, Trojan, hit me up, man. I want that dank condom money. But okay, but yeah, addressing that RC series, I'm the first episode's in the works right now. Again, thank you, Fumble, for helping me find someone who'd be willing to do a title card. But yeah, so I'm not sure if the first episode's going to be on stream or on YouTube. I don't know yet. I will do an announcement once I decide. Also, hey, Meme, how's it going? These are probably a sponsor for. Hey, fuck you! Oh god. But anyway, so, but yeah, that's addressing that. First episode's in the works. One more thing I want to cover in the future project department is about 2 months ago. Was it 2 months ago? I don't know. It was a long time ago. Long story short, at least 2 months. I did a poll seeing if you guys would want me to start doing reviews. Well, not again. Technically again, because I did them in the past, like a long time ago, my old YouTube channel. And I did a poll asking if you guys would like to see stuff like that again. And the overwhelming consensus was yes. So the pilot for that will be coming on the YouTube in, I want to say, not obviously not in December, but most likely January at some point will be the pilot for a review series. And just to kind of get it out there, it's not going to be just a game review series, because I know I'm primarily a gaming channel, but I like other things. I have other things I enjoy. So I'm debating if I want. There's 3 things I'm debating right now, and I most likely will have a vote for before I write the script for that review. Is if you guys want me to review a webcomic series, a film, a show, or a game. I'll most likely have a poll for that to see what you guys want to see for the first episode. But yeah, so that's I think that's the last actually project that's going on right now that I had to address. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, where's my fucking water bottle? I just brought it down here. Yep, there it is. What? That moment when you fucking lose the thing you just had in your hand 5 seconds ago. Oh man. Can't believe I reviews the character. Why he does disclose too much info that. What I missed? Not much. Just we haven't even gotten to the main topic of the stream yet, which actually we should start right now. So, oh god, again, I have to specify this just like I said at the beginning of the stream, because there's gonna be. Oh shit! Hey, Sri! Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. But anyway, how you doing, Serenity? Got emote. Thing. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. I don't even know what is that emote. What is that emote? But anyway, so before I get into the topic of mediocrity, again, I have to specify what I'm going to. The examples I'm going to use do have a high fan base. The fan base for some of these examples I'm going to talk about are big and they're very loyal. And I'm pretty sure these examples, you're a fan of at least one of them. So, with that, I have to specify this is not meant to flame war. This is not meant to start a fight. This is a civil discussion about the topic. And I'm not trying to change anyone's minds. I'm merely putting information out there and you can come to your own conclusions. Just like the last stream. So, shit, I just fucking hit my desk and knocked my webcam down. Oh no. I'm sure it's fine. I swear that thing was built by Nokia. I've yeeted that thing off of my fucking desk before. But, yeah, it's a sad day when I have to say I'm trying not to start flame war. But anyway. He ain't trying to change my game. But, yeah, alright. So, again, consider that a warning of how this is gonna go. Okay. So, the topic of why do we settle for mediocrity? Now, again, this is unscripted, so if I stumble over my words or if I backtrack from time to time, I do apologize. So, let's go. Alright. So, why do we settle for mediocrity? Now, this is actually something that I've been wondering actually fairly recently. I never really thought about it until about a month ago, which is actually that thought is what started the show to begin with. Was actually the one question of the mediocrity question of why do we settle for it? Why do we allow so much mediocre things to get the pass instead of demanding more? And as I thought about it more and more, I realized this is a rabbit hole of a topic. And so I figured, you know what? Let's just base a show around stuff like this, and behold, Resistance Radio became a thing. But, the question actually came to me fairly recently, and it started in the back of my mind. It never really was a question that I personally really thought of too much. It was in the back of my head, simply because of the fact of so many, and this isn't even just gaming anymore. This is just media in general. So a lot of films and shows and just things I've read, I had this thought in the back of my head of why is it that so many different forms of media feel like there was no thought put into it. Like, it's not bad, but nothing's really good either anymore. It's painfully below average. Like, the best way I can describe it is it just feels like it was made, thrown out, and then we move on to the next thing. And it just made me think that there wasn't really any inspiration to really anything in media anymore. Like, films never really felt like they had that drive they used to, and now it just feels like throw it out and hope that it, you know, get the money for it. As well as, like, other than the uninspired part, the other thing that brought this question to my head, at least subconsciously, was there's a lot of rehashing of the same old, tired ideas over and over and over again. Like, think about it. So many shows now are either banking on nostalgia for an old property without really doing anything new, or they're just doing the same thing as each other. Like, really think about it. Like, think of a show that you've watched, and then think of other shows as well. Like, think of like the last 5 shows you've seen. I can guarantee you that there are a lot in that list that are basically just the same idea over and over and over and over again. Like, sure, it's different characters and a different, overarching story, but the thing is, though, is that there's just so many times. Yeah, tropes, thank you. Like, these tropes have just become such a normality to a point where it's just not enjoyable anymore. It just feels like I'm watching the same idea over and over and over again, just with a different coat of paint. And this is when I start getting controversial, because I know some people actually enjoy it. But one example I could think of is the Animaniacs reboot, or rehash, or whatever you want to call it. It's not bad. Like, I need to stress it. It's not bad. I've watched a few episodes of it before, making my opinion. It's okay. And the reason I say it's okay is because of the fact that a lot of the jokes in the show have already been done by other shows. They're just rehashing basically the same thing they did back in the 90s. Like, the entire first episode is just jokes about the 90s. That's it. And most of the episodes are just basically just a rehash of things we've already seen done 1,000 times over. Just with a different coat of paint. Like, there's nothing really new at all. Like, it's just a rehash of a property, rehashing other properties' fucking formulas. And it bothers me because it's just like, is this where we're at now? And a lot of people blame that on the fact that, well, Hollywood and media's run out of ideas. Yeah, the Pink in the Brain has been... Well, Pink in the Brain's always been solid. Like, to be fair, that one's been solid. But going back to what I was talking about is people chop it up to Hollywood just ran out of ideas. And I have to disagree with that. It's not the fact they ran out of ideas. It's the fact that that media now knows, because of the fact that new ideas don't make as much money as rehashing the old ones. We're now stuck in a trend to where new ideas kind of get put on the wayside, but yet these old ideas are like, oh, fuck it, let's just pump it all out. Like, screw it. And it's not even done well. And that's where mediocrity comes in. Is so let's visualize mediocrity. Before I continue on this point, let's visualize what mediocrity is, okay? So imagine in your head a line with 2 finite points, one on each end. Okay? On the right is just masterpiece level. Like, things that are brilliant. They're original, they're good, so on and so forth, right? And then let's go to the left, and on that point, we put just horrid. Like, anything that is beyond terrible. Oh, God. Like, think about it like this. So, horrid and brilliant are on 2 ends of the spectrum, and then there's just lines for everything in between. So, around the earlier days of, like, let's say just because I know a lot of my odds definitely wasn't around during the 80s. Let's say, yeah, exactly. Let's say around the early 90s. So let's just point it at the start of the 90s. So 90 to about 2009, I would say 2008, 2009. Let's say that's the time scale for this one point we're going to put on here. Around, actually, no, even earlier than that. Let's say 2002. Let's put that there. So 90 to 2002. Most things in that time scale were close to brilliant. A lot of things back at that point were original. They were well done. They had actual, honest to God, effort put into them. I know not everything falls in this. I'm just using this generally, okay? So don't think I'm like, oh yeah, everything from this time was great. No, there were some garbage things, like the Mortal Kombat movies, but I'm using it as a general way to describe this. So let's put a pin there, nearby, like closer, but not all the way, but close. So about 90% of the way up. There were really good shows that were well thought out. They were just well made. They were unique, and they were just good. But now let's go to more modern, and just as you get closer and closer and closer and closer to 2020, current year, you start seeing that dot starts moving further and further and further and further down the line to the left until it hits about halfway at about, again, just estimating here, I want to say around 2012, 2013, right about there. It stops at about the halfway point. So let's make another mark there and say that's average. That's the average. It's not good. It's not bad. It's passable. It's those games, those films, those shows, those comics, those novels, whatever it is. It's those ones that you see or read once and just go, I mean, it's entertaining, but I'm not gonna watch it again. Like, it's those ones that are just kind of forgettable. They're not bad, but they're just forgettable. Now, let's go about to the modern day and move that dot slightly left, like very, very slight. But they're also really, yeah, that's another thing as well. But I'll get to that in a second. But now let's move that dot slightly left. All right, so just slightly behind average is mediocre. So mediocrity is essentially just, it's very slightly below average. It's not bad. Let me get that out there. Mediocrity does not mean bad. It just means it's either forgettable. It's just one of those things that's just like, okay, that happened. Or it's something that just, it hits the bells, but there is just so much more it could be. That's why I describe mediocrity. It's either just forgettable, or it's something that just doesn't do what it could be. Like, they're subpar, thank you. Subpar is another term for this, but I'm lumping things in to mediocrity when I go over my examples. I'm going into mediocrity as well for things that I feel could have been so much more than they are. That's another way to define mediocrity, is if I watch something and I see that there could have been there's so much more potential that they could have done had they taken a risk with it, but didn't. That's another thing of mediocrity, is it doesn't live up to what it could be. So now that we got that out of the way, continue with my point from earlier, is we went from a time where things had to have effort. They had to have honest to God effort to actually have a chance. Things that had effort were praised. They were completely fucking beloved. And just they stood the test of time. Like, there are so many things that are just so great. They were well made. They were unique. And we might not get another one of them again, given the current standing. Like, one example I can give of good media is Studio Ghibli. They have a few misses, but so many of their fucking films are just god tier for their originality. And that's a niche thing. Like, I get that's why they're not as successful as these bigger companies, because Ghibli's niche. But to do a more a bit more mainstream example, old school Disney and old school Warner Bros. That they had to be original because of the fact, like, back in the day, They had to be good. Like, Disney almost died twice because of pumping out mediocrity after mediocrity after mediocrity. During that Dark Age thing with like Black Cauldron, Pocahontas, all that. And the problem with that though is something changed. When companies like Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, etc., they made so many good films. So like they strive to be the best. But then something changed. The desire of audiences changed. And it's weird and fascinating to think about that. Films like The Black Cauldron, Pocahontas, and stuff like that were released during, and I'm using Disney example because it's the most well-known. Those were released at a time where Disney had to be the best. And these films were not bad, but they were mediocre. They weren't good, they weren't bad, they were mediocre, which put a massive dent into these companies. But now, if they release them in the modern day, they would be raking it in. Despite being subpar at best. And it's fascinating that there's this massive change. It's just fascinating that we went from an audience that demands better, that we want good. We don't want to settle. We want, game companies, film companies, TV show companies to do good things, not, shit. Well, mediocre thing, like pumping out just one mediocre thing after another. But this shift in settling, because that's what it is. Whether it's subconscious or not, we as the media viewing public have begun to settle for whatever we can get. Like, we've gone from thinking, well, that was shit. Like, do better. Like, let's say an episode of a show was just terrible. We've gone from, that was dog shit, fucking, I ain't watching this till they approve, to, well, it could be worse. And the gold bar of what the general audience finds good has lowered. Expectations have gone down. And it's weird because originally it wasn't like that. And even then, it's not the fact of companies stopped caring. This was found out by accident. From what I've seen, this was discovered by accident when producers and all that stuff, like these companies, found that they could get away with mediocrity because stuff started kind of going downhill. Like, things were kind of in a rut in the media for a while. And there were just, films were getting pumped out that just weren't that good. Shows were just kind of meh. But they were making a lot of money with the excuse of it could be worse. And as well as some of these more well-established places were getting, psychophans, that sort of thing. I've harped on this before a long time ago. And not a long time ago, this was like a month ago. When was the last podcast? I don't remember. But I harped on this last time with the psychofan thing. There are fans that are so diehard nowadays as well that don't help the problem. And companies and media producers realize that and realize, we can do subpar shit and get away with it. And then there was the other realization of this thing with demographics. We actually brought it up. Different audience targets. Now, originally, with things I'm gonna specifically attacking animated things, so primarily family or mostly family entertainment is probably where I'm gonna be focusing most of my point on. Family entertainment used to have to be good, but now it's taken a nosedive into mediocrity. And it's such a weird thing that we settle for this when we used to be like, oh, that was shit, change it. But nowadays it's the mentality of, oh, it could be worse, or I like this this whole fucking series, so I'm gonna defend it tooth and nail no matter how bad it gets. And that's when the problem started, is once that mentality started of, oh, we just have to pander and people will watch it anyway, or we don't have to try because there are people out there that will defend us no matter what type of bullshit we put out. That's when the problem started. And it bothers me that we're at that point. So, that's essentially the origin of this in a nutshell, is that people realize that mediocrity sells. And if you want a big example of that in the film industry, look at the live action reboots from Disney. They are painfully mediocre, like the live action Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Cinderella, fucking Dumbo. I don't know why they even got a reboot, but all of those were not made with the same ideal of, we gotta make this good. It was, we can cash in on this. And so it pumped out with this mediocre bullshit. And I've seen every single one of the Disney live action films, and going back to this question of, that's when it starts slowly moving that question more and more into my head of, why are we putting up with this? Why do we feel the need to put up with this when there are genuinely good things that could be made? Beauty and the Beast was probably my favorite out of all of them, simply because it was closer to the actual source material. I think the anime one. I think the anime was. That's fair, but going back to my point here is, what bothers me as well is the fact that there are so many good and unique ideas that get put on the wayside for mediocrity. And again, I thought about this for a while, and it never really came to a head until I heard a question be asked. Well, not really a question, but a statement being said. Now, this is where things get a little weird, because just hear me, just humor me on this for a second, okay? So, now, this question, like I said, because of all of this, it stayed in the back of my head of, why is it that so many things are mediocre nowadays instead of being good like they used to be? And I just kind of accepted the fact of, that's just how it be. Like, I kind of just accepted it, which is not a good mentality to have, just how it be. And I never really thought about it until about a month ago. About 1 or 2 months ago. And again, humor me on this, because there's a story. So, the origin of why I asked this question in the first place was because of a video. So, YouTube, ironically enough, despite being the king of shit to mediocre quality of content, actually recommended me a video, which actually made me start really, really thinking about that. And it was, okay, so I don't know what the hell is going with the algorithm lately, but it recommended to me a comic dub, and keep in mind, I love comic dubs. I love hearing people's takes on voice acting and all that stuff. I love listening to those, just because some of them can be genuinely good. And it was a comic dub for this series that I did not know about until YouTube recommended it to me. And the series was called, I believe it's just called Miraculous. I can't remember, but for preference, it's like a Monster of the Week formula superhero show for, it's on Netflix, I think, but I totally not saying a pirate or anything, but, but anyway, but, yeah, so this was the first time I was exposed to the show. I didn't hear about it up until this point, and I was looking at the comic dub, and I just saw the video, and I was like, well, it looks high quality enough, so fuck it, click. And going into it, I had no idea what the fuck was happening. So I clicked it, And it was actually really good. Like, it was a fan comic that was made that was actually really good. It was kind of okay. The best way I can describe the video was it was like Teen Titans Light. Like Diet Teen Titans, if that makes sense. Like the old school Teen Titans from the early 2000s, not the new shit, but it felt like that. It felt like a show that was trying to be like that. And I honestly got into it. Like, I was like, I wonder if there's more like this. And I started going through, digging a little bit through YouTube to find some more fan work of it, because for some reason my brain didn't be like, hey, you should go actually see the original. But I wanted to know what I was getting into. And so as I dug deeper and deeper down this fucking rabbit hole of good content, which, surprise, surprise, fan content can be good. But the problem was, I was saying, like, this is actually really interesting. Like, there were some things about the fan works that I honestly really liked. One of the characters actually had, like, all these characters that were made, that were basically fleshed out by the fan base, which I'll get into why I mentioned fleshed out, not made. They were really good, and they were really deep character for something with this premise. Like, hell, one of them is basically abused, like, by their father, like, mentally abused by their fucking father or some shit, but, like, it had good undertones, like, and it's shit I enjoy. Like, again, that's why I like the original Teen Titans so much, is it had shit I genuinely like about shows like that, where there's these good undertones that can make for good stories and flesh out characters. And I finally caved after seeing a bunch of this stuff. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And before I did, there was another video that got recommended to me, and this is how little I knew about this fucking series. Was I got recommended a video talking about one of the characters from the film, which I didn't even know was a thing. So I watched the video, and this is the one thing that tipped me off and really cemented the question of mediocrity in my head. And it was, being a fan of this show's writing is a love-hate relationship, because you gotta be able to put up with average writing. And I sat there thinking, like, wait, hold on a second, like, hold the fuck on. The stuff I've been seeing on it looks great. Like, the writing from all these fan works I thought were taken from the show. And they also talked about the film, and keep in mind, before I did this podcast, I also, just to, again, cement my opinion on this, I did watch a few episodes from each season, and then I watched the film. And oh my god, like, I now understand. Because I should have done this, but I watched the film first to understand what they meant by, it was good writing for the film, but it was average for a normal film or TV show. And yeah, I see where they're coming from. It was painfully average. Like, it was mediocre. And I was like, wait, how do people praise this for being like this? And so I watched through it, and I started sitting there like, wait, hold on. This is nothing like what I was being shown. Because what I was getting shown was something that was more akin to shows that I grew up with. Like, these actual shows with good undertones and could go very dark with their premises. Why is this? What happened? And I classify the show as mediocre because of what I said before, was the fact that there is so much potential in it, but yet the show never tries to go with that potential. And that's where the question started, was, why is it that obviously the audience can see what is in front of them for the overarching premise, not the show itself, but the premise and the background of these characters, but yet the fans capitalize on it with what they're doing, but the show never does. And it bothers me to no end as to me saying, like, why do you guys settle for this? instead of demanding it be better. And it drove me up a wall because I was saying, like, I was promised something great and I got mediocre. What the fuck happened? And so I did look around more and more for examples of this, which is again why I use the past examples of people saying that even though it's mediocre, they're gonna stand by that. And there's a list of things that I personally feel fall under mediocre. Now, again, they're not bad. They have shining gems in them, but they are mediocre a lot of the time. And there are so many times where that's happened, where I've seen fan works that somehow do better than the actual product. Like another example of that is in video games. There were so many fan games and fan mods that somehow did the game better than the original. And I've seen so many examples of that. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? Example of that is, surprise, surprise, bring this up again, the Sonic games. I've seen a lot of fan works with that. Like, a lot of fan games. And a lot of them are really fucking good. Expressing the bullshit we've been getting. And as I was digging more and more into this, I started thinking about things I've watched, things I've seen, things I've read. And it always baffled me every time of how is it that people settle for this? And the biggest thing that crossed my mind was a few things. Number one was it's an already established property. Therefore, people are going to wave it back by and be like, oh, well, I'll accept this as fine because I like the series. And that mentality right there is what started the problem. It's what started the issue in the first place of we don't have to try if we use something that's been pre-established. We can make it as mediocre or bad as we want as long as it sells. And the mentality of I just like the series, so I'm going to support it no matter what, is not a good mentality to have. Like, just as a PSA, if you will. A PSA for all this is, if you're a fan of something, you should be hypercritical of it. You shouldn't be willing to put up with something that's mediocre or bad. You should be willing to really analyze it, really pick it apart. Like, there are so many like the example of this was fucking Death Note. When I first watched Death Note, I watch through whenever I do any not psychoanalysis, but just ridiculous amounts of analyzing of a show or whatever, or a game or whatever. I always go through it at least twice. Once for entertainment, and once just to kind of get a grasp of what's going on. And I go through it a second time to actually really pick it apart. And when I watched Death Note all the way through, and again, I watched it through twice, I was hypercritical of that because I loved that show. But I was so hypercritical of it because I loved it and I wanted it to be the best it could be. And I wish more people had that mentality instead of, it's good, I'm going to defend it to the death. Like, one very notable example, and this is when it gets controversial, and I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people saying this, but one example that I personally noticed when researching this was, and I'm scared to say it because I know a lot of people that watch me are fans of the show, but this is going to hurt. Steven Universe. Steven Universe falls in this category, and I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of people saying that, but just entertain my my thought pattern here for a second. Now, I never really got to invest in the show. That's one, but yeah, no, a lot of people love that show. The show, to me, I've noticed, is a very love it or hate it show. It told me a lot to keep watching it. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've sat through it, and yeah, I have my own opinions on the matter. But when the show, okay, so I thought it was really annoying. I never liked Steven Universe. Oh, thank God, I'm not gonna get ripped apart by rabid bears. But okay, so going on to this topic though, because I know a lot of people love this show. I know a lot of people hate this show. I'm in the middle. I think again, it's a mediocre show. Now put your pitchforks down. For anyone who's a fan of the show, put your fucking pitchforks down and just hear me out. So, the reason why I bring up Steven Universe in the mediocrity discussion, discussing fans, defending a show no matter what. I sat through a lot of Steven Universe. I didn't see it through the end, but I saw a majority of it, and I didn't really bother with the film or the season or the series finale just because it wasn't my thing. And there are elements to it where I can fully understand why people like it so much. I can see again, it's not one of those ones where I can see the potential there, and it did hit it a few times, but it was never enough. And when the show, so the way I describe the show, in my opinion, is most of it was average to mediocre with some really, really bad episodes, like bad. And those bad episodes, though, get defended tooth and nail. And when you call out the show, the fans, like, and now let me put a footnote right now. I am not by any means saying all the fans are like this. Like I said before, I am merely categorizing what I said before, psycho fans, not the average viewer, not normal fans of the show, just the ones that will defend this thing to the death. Like the ones that will outright attack someone for having a different opinion. So with that disclaimer, so when the show was bad, it was terrible. And people never really, people did address this. But at the same time, the psycho fans would defend it tooth and nail until, basically until they ran out of breath, till they were blue in the face. And it led to this problem with the show where there was potential. And the episodes that got, again, this is why I say it's mediocre, is there are genuinely good episodes. But the thing is, they weren't written by the actual creator. They were written by somebody else. And all that work that person that put in was retconned. An example of that is the main villain. When they were first shown in the show, they were shown as basically Space Hitler times a billion. They were ruthless tyrants in the show. And they were written well. They were intimidating. They were pure evil characters. And I loved it. But those episodes where they established those villains weren't written by the show's creator, who is also the head writer. They were written by somebody else, and then it got retconned because the creator didn't like it. And when called out for that change, when the show was called out for that, sorry, I had to swallow for a second to clear my throat a little bit. But when the show was called out for that change, the fans, the psycho fans, and the creator both went on the defensive, trying to defend the actions of what was done with these characters, and made it from these genuinely intimidating, evil, the love to hate them villains into just I'm sad type of characters. And it was why? You had this great setup. You had this great premise of just this alien race that thinks it is superior in every single way. And it just wipes out anything they think is lesser to just the villain being, I'm sad because X person isn't around. Like, what the fuck? Like, and that's where the problem resides, is the show has genuine, and forgive my pun, legitimate gems of storytelling in it. But it doesn't hit the mark. It stays in that line of mediocrity. And that's because, and that's actually two reasons. The second reason I want to get into a bit later. But the primary reason is it's defended tooth and nail, no matter how bad it screws up, or no matter how bad an episode is, fans will defend it tooth and nail instead of demanding better. And that sends a message. That sends a message of, we don't have to try. We just have to pump out this subpar content and people will love it. And it bothers me that that's true. Like, and if you are one of these, like, this is just pointing aside, if you are one of these fans that will just defend something no matter what, no matter how bad it really is, then I have to really ask you, really think about that. What is it doing for whatever you're a fan of? Like, think about, what are you going to achieve there? Like, again, with going back to Steven Universe, what do you get out of defending the show even when it fails? If you want other people to like the show and make it, this icon, you can't sit there and just psycho defend it, no matter how bad it is, no matter how toxic the writer is, no matter what. If it's good, show it praise. If it's bad, rip it the fuck apart. I stopped watching television a while back because there's nothing I like to watch on YouTube and everything I want at the time. Amen to that. But but my point is that that's one of the problems why we settle for mediocrity, is it's the fact that when we find, so again, this is when it gets kind of tinfoil hatty a little bit with these psycho fans that defend things tooth and nail. This is, like, again, this is not at all, most likely not factual, but this is a little tinfoil hatty. In my opinion, the reason why psycho fans are able to settle for mediocrity, no matter how mediocre or bad something is written or made, is the sense of community. They have something they can say is theirs. Like, think about it. If you had something that you were a part of that you could say was your community, you defend that tooth and nail. And I've seen people do it. Like, that's the whole point of this example. But the problem is that this isn't like a social club where you're defending it to keep it alive. This is a fan base of something that will exist forever. No matter what, anything you make, like, just to put it out there. You know the saying, once something's uploaded to the internet, it can't be deleted. That is the same for anything you create and put into the public, whether it's on the internet, whether it's on TV, or even in just your town. My chair just made a weird ass noise. Oh my god. I rocked it and squeaked so bad. But anyway, now when you make something, it's going to be there forever. And the mentality I have as a creator, the mentality I have going into it is, everything I make, everything that I create, I want to be the best it can be, because it's going to be out there forever, whether it's remembered or not. And I want my, like, okay. I know this is this is going to sound very pompous or whatever to say, but when I'm dead in the ground, whatever I created, I want it to be remembered for its good quality. I want it to be remembered for just however good it was. That's what I want it to be remembered by. And generally good content is remembered forever. And that's the problem with this, is that a lot of things that are coming out now in this mediocre spectrum is they're not going to be remembered. Like, again, Steven Universe. Yeah, it's very popular now, but come 15 years, people aren't going to remember it as much as they remember, like, Adventure Time, the original Teen Titans, fucking really any Samurai Jack, like the old Samurai Jack. Like, it's not going to be remembered like them because it suffered from mediocrity. And I understand wanting to defend something you love because it makes you feel like you're a part of a community, but this isn't a social club. It is, because the thing is, believe it or not, some creators do listen to the fans, and whatever the reception is from the majority is going to be what happened. Well, not the majority, but the most vocal. Whatever that is going to be the thing that gets made. And Steven Universe case, the Psycho fans won out, and it was just a vast majority of just mediocre writing and subpar animation. And it's not going to be remembered. And that's the thing, is Psycho fans want their series to be the best thing ever. But it's not going to be that unless you are very critical of what you enjoy. Like, again, you can enjoy whatever you want. You can do so bad it's good, whatever. But if you think something is generally good and it can be, and it fucks up and it can be better, you need to actually make it known and say that sort of thing. Just say, this has to be better. And that's where the first problem resides, is we are, like, these Psycho fans are just so fixed on this because there's just enough there to get their attention, and then they will just defend it to them. And that kind of goes to the next point. Some shows and some video games and some movies are aware they're doing the minimum, which is, again, mediocrity. Like, again, the live-action Disney films. Star Wars, for fuck's sake. The Star Wars films. They put in just enough to where they can make a shit ton of money. And not have to try. With nostalgia references, that sort of thing. And that's the next part of this, is nostalgia glasses. Why do we settle for mediocrity of reboots? It's because we're nostalgic. I can guarantee you, everyone that's watching right now has a show or a film or a game or a comic or whatever else that they look back on and are so nostalgic over, and if it got rebooted, they would be the first ones there. And I'm not saying reboots are bad. Some reboots, if done in a brand new way, are good. They can be good, but I'm talking about the majority, and why there's so fucking many now is we settle for mediocrity because of the fact as well of nostalgia. Like, a show can be written to be subpar, but if it has just enough references, if it has just enough in there to get away with it, then it gets away with it and is praised. Like, there are so many different shows that are running right now that are reboots from the past that, you know, are just so poorly written. But the fact that it's, you know, the old series, well, guess what? People are going to watch it. People are going to be like, I need more of this in my life, and blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't help matters to be nostalgic. But that gets preyed on, and I think that's another reason why we settle for mediocrity, is we want to see things that are familiar. And that goes for reboots, and the nostalgia, the preying on nostalgia that's going on right now is we went from a society that in the media we wanted to be challenged originally. We wanted to be made to think, which is why, family medium, even kids media and adult media alike, back in the day had darker moments. Like even family media, like again, the original Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, all this stuff. They had darker elements. They had riskier elements, but they made you think. They made you think about these themes. They made you understand. Like there were so many shows back then that tackled really, really difficult subjects with their stories. And we went from that to just wanting what's familiar. We don't care about the quality as long as it's something we already know. And I think that's the biggest problem is we settle for mediocrity because we don't like to be challenged anymore. Like, think about it. So many things are the same as each other now. If you want to win over a large audience with minimal effort, use Nostalgia Card. If there's anything that I picked up from learning video production, it's people will watch your shit. You're so nostalgic. It's scummy, but it works, sadly. Yeah. And again, it's because of the fact we as a society don't want anything new anymore. We are so stuck on nostalgia where it's starting to hurt what we want. Because think about it. Think about all these great things. Think about all these original great ideas that have to settle to being on Netflix, being on YouTube, or to being here on Twitch. Unique and original ideas don't sell anymore. The only modern example I can think of an original idea that picked up so much steam that it got grabbed by a fucking studio, and that honestly terrifies me, was Has Been Hotel. And I get Has Been Hotel's pilot is a little bit, hit or miss with people. I personally like it, but it has problems, but I personally loved it. But what scares me is that, whereas yes, it's an original idea, it got picked up by an actual film, like an actual TV studio. What scares me is that it's going to go down the route of mediocrity and just do rehashes of ideas that have already been done or making references that are going to be dated a week from now. Like, how fucking bad do you think it's going to go over if, like, Angel Dust, like, makes a meme joke of a meme from, like, 2009? Like, and it's gonna happen. Like, that's what scares me. It's it happening. But that's, like, it's so dumb that we live in a world now where it's, I want good content. But I want it to be the same as the last thing I saw. Like, and picking apart the series I like, Star Wars. The new Star Wars is literally just shittier versions of the older fucking movies. Like, they're literally the exact same as the original trilogy, but shittier. Jurassic Park, same thing. Jurassic World is the same as the other two of the three in the original trilogy. But it's done worse. And I love the Jurassic Park series. I love Star Wars, but the newer ones are just rehashes of the same movie, just with a different coat of paint. And the sad thing is, it works, and companies know it works. Which, again, is why so many good original ideas don't get picked up, because doing the same thing over and over again, it works. And it's sad, but it does. And that leads into another problem, which is why I say the biggest problem is we as a viewing public don't like being challenged anymore. And it's saddening. And that causes another issue with the risk factor of a unique idea. And here's what I mean by that. See, original ideas always have a risk. Because original ideas are something that haven't been quite done before. True, there can be tropes. I'm not attacking tropes because that we have them for a reason. But the thing is, though, is unique ideas. Like, even if they use a trope, if it's a unique idea, it's already miles better than what we have now. But here's the thing. With the whole not wanting to be challenged anymore, is back when content used to be where, you know, experimental, everything was experimental. We had to see what worked, what didn't, what sold, what didn't, what would succeed, what would fail. Everything had a risk, literally everything. And when these ideas worked, they did exceptional. When they didn't, they did horrible. And actually, like I said, Disney, back in the day, when it made Pocahontas, Black Cauldron, and went through that dark age, like the dark age of Disney. When it went through that dark age, the whole fucking thing was, these were unique ideas that failed because they were just bad. And then they picked up steam again because they made things that were, again, unique and original ideas, but they were good. They were fantastic. Like, a lot of Disney and Pixar's lineup were ideas that were never done before, and they were amazing. And they still are. But that kind of subconsciously planted in the minds of how much of a risk unique and originality is. And that's why over time things slowly began to not have uniqueness or originality to them anymore, is because of the fact that doing sequels and I'm not attacking sequels. Like, if a story needs a sequel, then by all means, but when it's an unneeded sequel, a reboot, or whatever, there was a slowly building precedent that it's safer to do something that's already existent rather than do something new. And that bothers me because that's been around since, like, forever. But nowadays, it's become such a problem because that's everything now. Nothing in the mainstream is original anymore. And that's even going into the online sphere with all this indie content. Because let's just put a mark on it right now. Everyone that is doing online content in some form is an indie creator. They are in the indie sphere. Like what I'm doing is indie. What you do, Shadow, is indie. Everyone in the online content sphere is indie. Like, they're their own thing. But the problem is that it's starting to come into that too, because unique ideas are getting put on the back burner unless it's like this big grandiose thing, like, again, what Has Been Hotel was. But nowadays, most creators are copying one another because that's how it just works. Because, again, we live in a time where people don't want to be challenged anymore. They just want what's familiar. And that's just, it's sad. It really is sad that we're willing to settle for mediocrity because it's familiar. And it's honestly a tragedy, really, because there are so many things that I have seen, I have read, that are brilliant. Like, they are amazing ideas. They are amazingly done, but they don't get found out, or nobody really likes them or pays them mind because it's different. Like, we went from a public where we enjoy something that challenges, like that's something that I hear brought up a lot about regarding older stuff, is, again, from that time from the 90s to the early 2000s, is it's challenging. It makes you think. It does all this stuff. It's unique and all this shit. Like, good lord, man. Like, just, like, all the stuff that I have listed. Like, again, going back to the earlier stuff. It made you think. It challenged your views on things. It, like, and now granted, it didn't do, a lot of stuff didn't do all the time, but a lot of them did. Some, like, Teen Titans obviously had its filler episodes, had, like, and again, I use this as an example because it's probably one of the most widely known. It had its funny moments, but at the same time, it went ham when it wanted to do something darker or something more down to earth and real. And it made you think. Another example of a great show that did this was honestly Last Airbender, the Avatar: The Last Airbender. It did this show that, whereas it was comedic, it was funny, it had its moments, but at its core, it made you think. It taught different culture, like it taught different cultures that it was based on. Like, you could look at Avatar: The Last Airbender and just figure out the different cultures that they were based on, and yeah, they were based on real cultures that were like that at some point. Like, obviously, the Fire Nation's like imperialistic Japan. Like, the Air Nomads are based off Buddhism. Like, and they have those philosophies that they had, as well as the lessons that it taught over its lifetime, made you think. And and sometimes it does make you uncomfortable. But that's why so many things that we watch and we read and we play made us love them back then. Was they made us feel challenged. They made us feel uncomfortable. But nowadays, in the sphere of psycho fans that will defend something tooth and nail, people getting offended by just about anything and everything, and people not wanting to be challenged, and companies realizing all of that and preying on it, has what caused a sphere of mediocrity, and one that's going to take forever to fix. Because we put ourselves in this hole of just mediocre content, and it's slowly starting to spread everywhere. Like, it's slowly but surely spreading to every medium, and I loathe it. Let me go ahead and read the chat here real quick. I want good content. You see this thing that you did that's the same as the last video. That's great content. That's fucking out. I copy and paste the format from the last video. That's not good content. That's me knowing you'll watch it no matter what. Also got the rates already. Okay. The most original content that you're gonna find on a daily, maybe weekly basis anywhere is a Frankenstein of other people's content. And again, I'm not attacking people for doing similar things. Like, there are similar editing styles. There are similar tropes. Like, and that's why tropes exist. It's so that way you can have a basis to make a unique story. Like, if I were attacking tropes, media would not exist because everything's been done to death. But tropes exist as a bouncing point to make a unique story. I'm not attacking that. What I'm attacking is the fact that there's no uniqueness anymore. There's just mediocre rehashing of an already established thing that for some reason we're willing to put up with. And I know the reasons, I just listed them off. So, as like last time, I'm gonna go into how do we fix this? Because this is fixable. But fixing it is going to be a bitch and a half. Because of the fact that it requires all of us to be on the same page with one another. And that's never going to happen. But one can hope. So, how do we fix the issue of accepting mediocrity and getting back to a world of unique content that honestly challenges people and is going to be remembered for decades after it has come and gone? Well, first of all is support indie creators. Now, I know I ragged on a bunch of them, but there are creators out there that have made beautiful content, that have made just amazing stuff, that they are great at what they're doing. And it's interesting because it's unique. And again, Has Been Hotel is a success story in a unique idea, in a unique premise, and a unique story. Like, everything about Has Been is very much unique to Has Been. And I'm so happy that it succeeded. And that's something that needs to become a normality, not a 1 in a 10 million. So, if you know of, and this is something I actually want to bring my audience into to try to help with this issue, is I hope Korea's in chat to see this, but the reason why I don't edit as much as I want to is because I make original content when I edit these videos, but it's so hard to think of something that hasn't already been done with stuff I do. It's hard to think of stuff to make and keep watching stuff keep getting old. And that's fair. And, you know, it's fine to do things that are similar to one another, you know, but directly copying. That's where my problem lies, is directly copying each other. But you get my point with that. Again, the whole trope. But now, what I want you guys to do as, you know, viewers, as followers, and as subscribers, which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to me, YouTube is in the fucking thing, in the info box. If you haven't subscribed, I actually do post once in a while on there. But as viewers and as also fellow creators, I want you guys, if you ever find a unique, just anything unique, a unique piece of content that's actually good, please send it to me. And if I think it's, you know, good, I think it's solid, and I think it will go somewhere, I'll shout it out. I will bring it to other people's attention. I will let it known on Twitter. Like, if you do find anything that's in that category, please let me know. This would be, you know, our community helping make a change. And again, it's small, but it's one step at a time. One small act can snowball into something far greater. So, support actually unique content online, even if it's a smaller creator. The other thing is sending a message to already established things. So, going back to my example with Miraculous, like I said, the fan base does such a good job at making those characters three-dimensional. They do a great job at telling, like, from what I've seen, obviously there's shit ones, but from what I've seen, a lot of the fan base is very dedicated to what they're doing. They make these characters that were pre-established so fucking three-dimensional. And they're great at it. They bring up concepts that the show never does. They make these characters so much more than what they are in the show. So, to send a message about that. And another example is a comic I've been reading lately is IDW's take on the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It's so good. It's something I wish the writers would do for the game. So, send a message. Make it known that, like, if you find fan works that are really good, that take into account things that you wish the show would. Things like maybe things to develop characters more, story arcs that should appear at some point, things that need to be addressed. Make a statement on that. Support fan creations that are genuinely good, that have heart to them. Like, hell, like, a bunch of creators have social media to communicate with fans. Send those their way. Like, say, this is what we want. And maybe that'll spark either a change in what is already being made now, or maybe in the future with another series or something that they're working on. It might be constructive to do that. So support fan works or things from other companies with the same characters that you would love to see more of, and it go in that direction. And the last thing I can say about this is, don't give money to something just because it's something like that it's basically a thing that you enjoy. Like whether it's a series or a brand or whatever. If it's something you enjoy, but it's just a rehash and you know it's gonna be shit, don't give your money to it just because it shares its name. If it's good, like by all means, like hell, the Godzilla reboots for God's sake. I love those and they are genuinely good. So I'll give my money to those, but things like The Lion King, I love the original Lion King. I hate the live action one. I didn't give my money for that one. Fucking hate but yeah, don't support something just because it's named after something you love. Support it because it does what you feel it does the name of what it's sharing justice. Because it's good and because it might do it because it does a unique spin on it. Because that's the other thing too, is that reboots more times than not won't do a unique spin on an old concept. But the point is support something that you enjoy because it actually is worth supporting, not because it just shares the name. And I knew that I said that was the last thing, but the last like the last thing I can say is fuck, where's my point? All right. If you enjoy something, if you love a series and it has a flop or a few, don't defend the bad. Praise it for the good, but harp on the bad with constructive criticism. Don't be like, oh, this sucks, and just leave it at that. If a show is doing something good, or if a game is doing something good, or whatever it is, praise it for the good, but criticize the bad. And make sure that it's through an analytical lens, and just make sure that, because again, if you love a series especially, like if it's something you grew up with, then you should challenge the creators to make it something that can live up to the name of what it once was. And I think that's it. So just support uniqueness. You know, get the word out there of people who are making unique and original content. Support fan works and outside works that are taking it in the direction you personally would love to see. Don't give your money or support to something just because of its name, and just analyze, for the love of God, analyze things that you enjoy and praise it for the good, but criticize it for the bad and its shortcomings. And then maybe we can finally go back to when we did not live in a world of mediocrity, but a world of creativity, a world of taking risks and taking the chance to make something great. And I think that's my whole entire take on the topic. So, much like last time, I'm going to kind of go into just kind of off-topic babbling. I am currently in my Discord, actually. So, the way this is going to work is much like last time. I will be in the Discord in a fucking voice chat room. So if you have anything you'd like to add onto the discussion of the topic, join the general voice chat and I will bring you into the room of the podcast, and then we can discuss. And yeah, so with that, I am now in the Discord. So if you would like to contribute anything to the discussion, now is the time. Anyway, so let me take a look at chat. All right, I already read that. I already read that in chat. But oh man, I honestly thought this was going to be way worse of a topic, just because it's such a rabbit hole of a topic. Like, I could go on about this topic for hours, and I might do a follow-up someday, like somewhere down the line, with this topic. But for now, I think that's a good enough overview of it. But it's just this is just a topic that I personally have near and dear to my heart, because I want good content again to be the norm, not whatever we got. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Oh, man. I don't think I've ever... I think these two past episodes of Resistance Radio has been probably the most invested, I guess, I've ever been in talking about the subject lately. I don't know why. It's just one of those things where it's just stuff I feel so strongly about, and I just want to, discuss. But anyway. Oh man, I need water. I need water real bad. It is the elixir of the gods. Oh god. Also, I don't know why, but I really love this playlist I got for the stream. I might change it next episode. But I'm not sure yet, because I do really like it. But I don't know if it'll get old quick or not. So I might change to another playlist. Probably maybe next episode if you guys would like a change in the music. Yeah, also talking about this, since we're kind of off topic now. I'm honestly thinking about making this, because I think I've done... Hold on, let me actually take a look here. How many episodes have I done so far, actually? Well, not episode. When was the last time I did the episode? Let me see. Let me take a look. Whoops. I did not mean to hit the back button. Let me see. Content. Video producer. When was the last episode of this? Last episode of Resistance Radio was... November 28th. Okay. So, I kind of want to honestly try doing an episode of Resistance Radio once a month. I don't know if that'd be too much, but I really like doing this. Like, this is probably one of my favorite streams to do, is Resistance Radio. So, I might, as a means to try to evolve the show a bit more, I might do an episode once a month. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I don't know, if you guys would like that, then I will, but I just don't want it to grow too stale, and I want to actually evolve the show so that way, I can make it better for everybody. Oh, man. One off-topic thing I did want to talk about was, why the fuck was Black Friday still a thing this year? Like, I just realized that Black Friday was a mess this year. Holy shit. Like, I had, God, just the cesspool that was Arizona during Black Friday. My God. Like, it was like, if anyone here listens to Sabaton, you know that song Attack of the Dead Men? It felt like that. It's like there's like people with masks just charging in masks into his store, like ready to fucking brawl. Like, it was, I just imagine Sabaton song over that, but just Jesus Christ. Oh man. Like, it was bad. It was real fucking bad this year. It just, oh man. Oh god, and then there's I can't believe Christmas is already... I can't believe the year's already over. Like, this has been one of those years, like, I feel like other people feel this way too, that it's been one of those fucking years where it feels like it took forever, but at the same time, it's like, Jesus, it's already December. Oh my god, I'm gonna be... Oh god, I hate the fact that I'm gonna be 23 this year. Shit. Oh my god, that's a kick to the pants right there. I'm gonna be 20 fucking 3. Oh man. Like, that puts things into perspective a little bit. Also, yes, for anyone asked, I'm 22. Even though I look like I'm like, what, 14? 15? I want it to be over, but I don't want to find out what'll happen in 2021. Dude, 2020. I'm calling it right now. January 1st rolls around, right? And it in the sky, it's gonna say, tutorial has been concluded. And we're just all gonna be like, oh no. And then Cthulhu, Godzilla, Gamera, and the Flying Spaghetti Monsters health bar are gonna appear just at once. It's gonna be the boss rush. We're gonna Dark Souls this bitch. Oh God. God, this year's been a mess. Like, I'm still technically on spring break. Like, 6 months later. Like, oh God. Dark Souls. Yeah, just Dark Souls. This is the day of reckoning that was mentioned by Pizza. It's the day of reckoning. We're all gonna die. Oh my God. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, every year. Like, we thought 2019 was bad. Holy shit. We thought 2012 was bad. Oh my God. 2012 admittedly, though. Despite the shit that happened, that shit was funny. Papa John, I'm sorry I doubted you, lol. I'm sorry I got Pizza Hut that one time. But, like, seriously though, 2012, can we just like go back to that, please? Like, 2012 was such a funny fucking year, dude. Like, that shit was so funny just to see how dumb people could be. Like, one of my favorite news stories about 2012 was, when they said that, according to, what was it? It was some religion. Some fucking religion. Said that, oh yeah, fucking Stonehenge is the only thing that's gonna be safe from Armageddon. So everyone and their fucking father just bloodied Stonehenge. And just the only thing that came to my head back then was, so what, the earth is gonna blow up and it's just gonna be Stonehenge floating through space. Just like ASDF movie style, just, it's a magical pony flying through the sky. Like, it's a magical space rock flying through the sky. Like, God, like, I miss that. I miss 2012. Like, that was the time of the dumbest shit, I swear. But it was so funny. I mean, the fucking, God, that's what we gotta do. We gotta, okay. The generation that went through 2012, like, we gotta wait until that's kind of forgotten and change the history books to where there was a disaster back then, and make it so that way 2012 sounds like it was based on a real event. That would be the funniest shit. Like 2050 textbooks going back to 2012. Like, it actually mentioned the end of the world. Oh my God, that would be such a great punk. I'd be in the grave. Like, because I doubt I'm going to make it to 2050, but I would be in my grave laughing my fucking ass off. Like, also, that just shows how much little faith I have in how long I'm going to live, because I don't think I'm going to make it to 50. I don't even think I'm going to make it to 30. Oh my God, it was so fucking funny. 2000 wasn't any better, but 2012 takes the case for the funniest bullshit year. We made a movie. People spent like, it's not funny for the fact. Well, okay, it's a wee bit funny that people are dumb enough to spend their entire retirement plan on fucking like bunkers and shit. Like the way the end of the world sound. What the fuck's a bunker gonna do, man? Though it does put into perspective how going back to our stream topic, how easy it is to sell an idea that can get you a shitload of money. Also, don't mind the wrapper. Totally don't mind the wrapper. Fucking, someone gave me this, not really a candy cane. It's just a peppermint, like the one of those red and white peppermint sticks. I was saving it. I'm not a fan of peppermint, but goddamn, this is good. The world is gonna implode on itself. Let me build a bunker. It was like the equivalent of building a wood house right next to a fucking dragon. It's about that equivalent. Oh god. Actually, that's something interesting. Actually, for those of you that are interested in animals and all that, recently there was a thing I read about. There's a new species of fucking lizard. Hold on, let me actually pull it up so I can get its name. I think I saved it. Hold on. Please steal us during a light, so that too. While challenging Thor. There, let me find it because it is actually generally interesting. Come on, load phone. I saved it in you. Now let me have it, damn you. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Load, ye bastard. Strike me down, Zeus. You don't have to. That is my favorite video. That will forever be the best video I've ever seen in my life. Strike me down, Zeus. You don't have the bolt. And then just, man's fucking dead, dude. There ain't no coming back after that. Alright. Here it is. Okay. So, there's a lizard in South Africa. So those of you that like dragons or just find an interesting thing in animals, look up a lizard named Smaug giganteus. It is, no shit, a small dragon. It looks like a baby dragon without wings. It looks like a baby dragon. And apparently they're worth, like, for a pet, like I don't condone what they're doing to get them on the pet market. Like, I would rather have captive breeding, thank you very much, but because they're not captive bred right now, they are worth like $10,000 on the pet trade. It's ridiculous. Like, who the fuck is spending $10,000 on a fucking lizard? Like, I love animals, but Jesus Christ, 10,000? If I had $10,000, I'd buy a really nice car or buy a fucking or fucking rent an apartment. They can do a lot with $10,000. That's what people. Oh god, I'm having a heart attack if I had 10,000 in my bank account. Jesus Christ, I'd keel over and die. I still think that Strike Me Down Zeus thing is probably the funniest fucking shit I have ever seen in my life. Like, what if you wanted to challenge the gods and then Zeus said, fuck you in particular? Actually, can we point that out real quick? The fact that literally all Greek mythology can literally just be summarized as Zeus was horny one day. I love that video, dude. It's fucking dead. Dude's fucking dead. There's no other. Yeah, no, he's fucking dead. He's not just dead. He double dead. His soul died. He died and his soul fucking died. Go Zeus. Zeus shield his wife again. So Zeus fucked someone other than his wife. Fucking another demigod has been found. Zeus's wife is just sitting there like, you fucking gigolo. Am I allowed to say that on stream? Eh, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say gigolo on stream, but I'm doing it anyway. I wonder if that's why I have people. I wonder if that's why I have people actually like my content, because I don't really give a shit about being being overly friendly or whatever, like overly censoring myself. I think that's what I'm looking for, censoring myself, because I just say whatever I damn well please, and if someone gets mad at it, then okay. Like, I have a messed up sense of humor. I know I have a messed up sense of humor, but people seem to like it, so I'm gonna stick with it. New god has been born, Harry. You want to explain yourself? Just, bitch, come again? Oh man, but yeah, I think, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is that why? Like, this is again a question for everyone watching. Is that one of the reasons? Like, I asked this on Twitter a while ago, just wondering, why people enjoy what I do, because I'm genuinely curious. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm very hard on myself when it comes to my content creation. I'm always needing to do better than what I did before, and I'm just genuinely curious of if that's one of the reasons why you guys like my content, is if it's because I don't try to censor myself at all. Like, I just go with what I feel like doing or saying. I don't try to conform to, you know, this other, like, oh, we gotta be fucking family friendly. Like, God, do not sound clip that or I will hurt you. But God, that's gonna be a topic for a future podcast. Is why do we make everything family friendly now? That's a topic for another time. But I don't know. I'm just curious if that's why. Oh my God. I get tired of the people who pay attention to an algorithm. He just gives you just, yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna do what I do and not give a shit. People are gonna like, if, you know, people are gonna like my content, then, like, you know, people will find me for those who like my content. If they don't like it, then I'm not gonna change what I do just for an algorithm. Oh shit. I shit, the fucking candy cane broke and fell on my fucking lap. Shit. It's fine. I saved it. It's cool. Apparently the suck game was too strong. What? God, I can't believe I said that as a joke. Just my suck game too strong. God, if Crucy's watching that, I know he's gonna grab that out of the stream. I know for a solid fact, if he's listening, he's gonna go back and clip that and make that a clip of my suck game too strong. Oh God, I'm grabbing it right now. Crucy doesn't have to. Ah, you son of a bitch. Oh God. But yeah, I've never been a fan of people who just follow the algorithm. Like, people that do things because I don't know. That's another thing that I'll probably talk about on another podcast. But it bothers me when people like, oh, I gotta do this only because it's popular, not because I want to, or oh, I'm gonna do this just because money. Like, I hate that. That pisses me off to no end. It's a pet peeve of mine. If we're gonna do something, make it enjoyable. Like, I've done things that are popular. Don't get me wrong, but I only did it because I enjoyed that type of content. Like, when I did Five Nights of VR, which I gotta still finish that at some point, but when I did Five Nights at Freddy's, I didn't do it because it was popular. I did because I liked the games. Like, FNAF VR, I played well after its popularity died, too. And, I don't know, it just bothers me when people are like, it's popular, therefore I must do it. Or, there's a large following for this, therefore I need the money. It's like, god damn it, guys. Like, do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it for the goddamn money. That has always been a pet peeve of mine, is when people just do shit for money. Like, the live streaming stuff or YouTube, like, when they're going in it only for the money or the fame, it pisses me off. Like, kind of going into a real talk for a second. I don't think I ever really addressed why I do this. And I mostly just do live streaming and video making, all that stuff, because one, I enjoy it. It's honestly a lot of fun for me just to be able to do this stuff, but I also do it just because I want to make people happy. Like, I like being entertaining. I like making people laugh. I like making people, have a place that they feel like they belong and all that stuff. And I've seen the main reason I want this to work is because I've seen the power that this medium has to make things better for people. And that's what I want to do. Like, one thing I have planned, which I don't know if I'll even be able to do it, because I don't know if I'll ever hit it, but if I do end up somehow taking off, one of the things I want to do was go into charity live streams. Like, if I ever hit 1,000, which I doubt I ever will, but if I ever hit 1,000, my idea was to do a 12-hour charity stream, just to help out, people that need it. But yeah, that's kind of why I do it. Like, no one, like, I don't think I ever went over that, but that's kind of my reasoning for it, is because I like making people happy, and I just want to leave a positive impact on the world rather than no impact or a negative one. And this medium is honestly the best way to do it. Like, you can reach an entire world through the internet, through content creating. And I don't know, like, just being where I'm at now with, what are we at now, 271? Just being where I'm at now, it just makes me feel really good that, people enjoy what I do, and I can make, I can make people happy. Like, I can bring people entertainment. Like, that's something I really enjoy about it, is people like what I do, and people, I make people happy when, I don't know if I'm just rambling or not, but I don't know. I just feel like that had to be said as to why I'm in this. Because I know people ask content creators why they do it in the first place, and I just wanted to cover it before I had to answer it in a live stream in the future. Just, that's why, is because I like entertaining people, and I want to make the world just a little bit of a better place. Whether that be a minute change for a small amount of people, or a massive change for a large group. I don't care which, but I just want to know that someone's day is just a little bit better because of what I do. So yeah, real talk done. Oh god, that got a little feelsy there. Quick, something entertaining. I don't know, fucking Butterfucker. I don't know, Buttercucker. I don't fucking know. Buttered dildo. That has to exist. That has to exist somewhere. Someone has made a butter dildo. I am saying, I'm calling it. Someone's done it. There has to be. So I got sent a B-movie script a couple of days ago. Why? Oops. Oh god. Fucking, I just thought of a couple memes, fucking, with the B-movie. National Treasure, but instead they're stealing the B-movie script instead of the Declaration of Independence. Oh my god. Okay. An arrow friend sent me a notepad file. Oh my god. But I just saw something great. What if, okay, games like Hitman or something. What if you had a mission, right? What if you had a fucking mission where it was you had to steal these very important documents, like these top secret documents, and you find like you get into your objective after hours of torment and hell for this mission. You finally get it. You open the document to see maybe like top secret weaponry or plans or something. You open it, it's just a B movie script. How pissed do you think people would be of getting B-movied? Of getting B'd by that fucking game? That would be the funniest shit I think I could ever think of to put in a game as a troll. Thank God I don't do game development. Otherwise, I would do that. 100%. Just to be a cunt. Someone needs some mod. Skyrim, but all the NPCs talking B-movie quotes. Oh my god. That would be the greatest mod ever. Someone please do that. I would actually play Skyrim then. That would be how you get me to play Skyrim, a B-movie mod. Skyrim, but the only voice line is you like jazz-based. Oh. No, that's the Fustro Da. Instead of just Fustro Da, it's you're like jazz. Which is bass boosted to hell. Oh my god, I'm getting ideas and I shouldn't have these. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's a B movie. Oh my god. Dude, I should do a Let's Binge one day on B movie. We get a bunch of people together, just watch the fucking B movie on stream. Oh my god, that'd be awful, but that'd be hilarious. Be like the dumbest thing ever, but goddamn, I would piss myself laughing. Oh my god. Okay, actually, speaking of Let's Binge, due to the fact of how copyright is lately, I'm gonna address this real quick because I know I haven't done one in a while. I think the last one was like 6 months ago. Due to copyright reasons, we're gonna have to structure that a little bit differently. So more details on that, but the actual live stream won't have the so the way we used to do it was I would stream my screen share of the show or the film we were watching on stream while me and my buddies would just shit post it the whole time. We can't exactly show the actual footage of the show or movies anymore, given the fact of how hard they're coming down on shit like that. So I now have to actually do it with when we're gonna do a Let's Binge. If you're in the Discord server, I will post a link to where we're watching it, and then it'll be just in the podcast style of you won't be able to really hear the show in the background, probably faintly, but you know. So that way you guys can watch it along with us without getting lost in what we're fucking shitting on. But yeah, that's how we're gonna structure it from now on. So I'm thinking about maybe doing one of those maybe next weekend, if not the weekend after Christmas. But I will do another one of those soon because you guys seem to really like those. So, and I do really love my shit posting. Like, I love making fun of shows, even if they're ones I love. I fucking love making fun of them. I did a thing. Oh, what did you do? Shadow, what did you do? I fear for my life. What hast thou done? You said you were in your Discord. Oh yeah, I'm chilling in the Discord just in case anyone wants to join in. Ahem. Oh no. Hello, psychotic. What did you do?
We gotta be fucking family friendly. Ooh.
God damn it! I got hit with the soundboard of me. Oh, you cunt muffin. I approve of it and I appreciate it, but still, fuck you. But still, just god damn it. Oh god. I feel like you're gonna use that at some point. I feel like you're gonna use that for something, and I'm scared for what you're gonna use it for. Oh dear god. Fuck it up. The perks of having an editing software on hand. Do you just have this shit like on standby? Like all the time? Honestly, fair enough. That's honestly fair. Oh my god. Just holy shit, I need to be able to catch Kirby law. This is why I'm scared to be around you sometimes, because I know for a fact that you have the, like, now that I know what I'm such, because I used to just theorize you had this shit ready, but now that I know you have it, I'm more terrified of you. Because I'm gonna say something, you're gonna clip it and make it so far out of context. Like the joke I made about the candy cane thing.
Choke me harder. I mean, what?
What? Who was that? Was that Kirby?
Always remember the time we spent together.
Was that Kirby's voice? It's Kirby. Oh my god.
You can't retard what's already retarded.
I agree. I would 100% agree. Oh my god.
And the Death by Snoo Snoo, published by the Grim Reaper himself.
Okay. Answer me this, psychotic. How fucking many sound clips do you have just on standby?
Hush now.
Is it more than 10? Yep. Oh my god.
Here, let me touch myself for you.
Oh no.
Oh my, kinky, aren't you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many?
Give me all this juicy goodness.
Why do
I
you,
can taste the chocolatey sausage.
why do you need so many? Like, Jesus.
God, I have and made myself some quesadillas and guarded these quesadillas.
Holy shit. Oh, man. Just, I don't understand how you have, why you need this many. I have the fucking curve. You know what? That's, fuck it. That's honest and unfair. That's one of the best responses I've gotten about that question of why do you have this? Just to fuck with him. Also got Gears Ready Stargazer. And now you have ones of me.
We gotta be fucking family friendly. Ooh.
I don't know where that voice came from. That just kind of happened. Oh, good. I approve of this 100% though. Oh, God. But, I think this is when I'm going to, call the stream for the day. So, Psychotic, if you have anything that you want to plug, feel free. Like, go ahead and, put it into the, chat. Like, if you got, like, a channel or whatever you want to plug, feel free before I, go to the stream ending. So, you do that. TV. I don't stream anymore, so I'm good on plugs. All right. So let me go ahead and throw up my stream ending. Let me go ahead and cut the music and go to stream ending because it's got its own fucking music. All right. So and Carrie redeemed the raid to Serenity. So we're gonna go ahead and raid Serenity today. And I will see you guys all here tomorrow for VR chat. And Shell, thank you for stopping by. Oh wait, wrong stream ending screen. I just realized that. My bad. But yeah, I will see you all for tomorrow's stream on VR chat. Thank you, Shadow, for stopping by, and thank you for all the beautiful fucking sound bites that I will be grabbing from the stream later. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip off of Discord then. So I will see you later, Psychotic. And I will see all of you guys tomorrow for VR chat. Goodbye.